This started... This started as a love letter to sports.
Thoughts on the Bench is live with Greg Kicked a Court.
It's always my fault. Even when it's not, it's always my fault.
And we have spent the past 7 years
transforming this into a brand
that unapologetically gives its honest opinion
on any
and everything.
Get a load of the asshole on this dude.
That's the Dark Magician from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Shoot. Yeah. He poops eggs, so, I mean...
The dinosaur?
Dinosaurs poop eggs. Yeah.
Yes,
Science.
So Rocky is a better real-life athlete than Joel Embiid.
I don't lose at arguments. All
Especially about fast food, so yeah.
Greg, could you hug a cat right now?
No.
We used to call ourselves Two Beers Deep.
And we were just one show under the banner of Thoughts from the Bench.
But after 7 years,
A billion good ideas,
A podcast for every mall rat, Jansport, backpack emo kid.
Hiring is the fucking liar's tale. The liar's
I know. Right?
Welcome to the 3rd episode of Beat the Bench.
Always watching Wazowski.
Under the Order podcast, best on the East Coast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chip's New Year's Rockin' Eve.
You think that makes it better? That you buy your own trophies? No one gives you trophies. Sure, shit does.
Good evening, fellow viewers and travelers. Welcome to the greatest spectacle.
What is up, guys? It's your boy Smalls on another episode of Vault, the weekly show that takes a look back at some of the best merch jerseys in sports. With me, as always, my boy, Mr. Benny Buckets. How's it going, sir?
And some bad ones.
So you are a fan of the...
Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. I think
There you got it.
This man was not prepared for the type of supernatural shit that was coming down the pike.
Collusion! Ladies and gentlemen, this is collusion at its finest.
Number 3, we got a Tom Collins.
Tom Collins. What's in the Tom Collins, Austin?
Your first word is platypus.
Greg Malik, aka formerly the Indie Darling.
I'm your master of ceremonies, the Indie Darling.
it's time to pull it all back
and refocus
Under one name.
under one name
under one name.
that in 2017 started it all.
This is Thoughts from the Bench,
A podcast
A blog,
a content channel.
with 3 best friends.
a few less beers.
Cover all the things that make the company money.
Oh my. Oh no.
And the same love.
For music,
You can dance.
Tasha's Fall Out Boy is not an emo band per sources. Let's check the site.
Movies.
Speaking
that's
of fictional, did you guys see White Man Can't Jump yet?
Is it any
Okay.
good?
Fuck if I know.
Oh, okay.
And of course,
sports.
Ovi is the greatest offensive talent we've ever seen.
You think Alexander Ovechkin is the greatest offensive player in any sport ever?
Hop writes in, unfortunately, oral costs a lot of people a lot of money. You know, Hop, sometimes...
That's
in
true.
life-
That's true. Absolutely fucked on Garber.
That is a trash statement. No, that is UNC equivalent to Texas Tech? Yes! That's a trash statement! That's Holly Johnny! That is trash!
God damn it, Josh.
You forgot the U, bud.
I hope Greg used a light for this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode of Thoughts from the Bench. Okay.
That's fucked up to think that that's the
NBA, you brought up a very good point, my friend. The show, TFTB, must go on. Yes. So, let's take a little journey back to
Can
the
we
history.
crack our beers first?
I'd
like to drink through this segment.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
great.
right, 3, 2, 1, action. Yes. Wow. I'm lucky that I went and bought beer. I wasn't even going to, but I was the only one with a cracking noise today. That would have been bad.
Well,
NBA.
I have Yingling, to be fair.
Oh, no, you do. I saw that. I was not knocking Greg for not drinking and you for not. Well, I was just saying the noise is somewhat important. So, NBA.
Beautiful green
I think it was
bottle, by the way.
Is it? Well, it'll be 8 years in December.
In November.
8 years in November. NBA.
November 2017
is when Josh and I were sitting at the bar I used to work at, and we're just like, well, life sucks. Like, we got to do something to not jump off the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And
one of the many.
Yeah, so I took an
multiple,
and I wrote a bunch of blogs, which turned into this, which turned into Josh starting the wrestling division, which almost destroyed us from the start, to just a journey of everything NBA. Yeah. So when you say the show Thoughts from the Bench, that is just starting today. That's 6 years, but 8 works. What'd you say? 20 what?
2017.
Yeah, that's 6 years, not 8.
Yeah, so we're going on 7, which is what the video says.
7. Okay,
yeah.
I thought you. Right. Yeah. Okay, it'll be 7 in November, not 8 in November. Shut the fuck up, Sid. NBA. So yeah. So what we're doing now? The show was called 2 Beers Deep.
8 works.
Shut the fuck up, Sid. The show 2 Beers Deep is no more because the company of Thoughts from the Bench is no more.
Right.
Once the vault ended, the 3 of us made a decision that instead of doing what we did, which was focus on building this company out of it, we should focus on just the 3 of us and put our energy and effort, something we've talked about forever, into this. So, that being said, it doesn't really make sense for us to keep doing a show called 2 Beers Deep when I have gout, Greg won't drink, and Josh probably just shouldn't drink. So
well,
he's
running the board, so yeah, that's fair. I mean,
so what we're doing is this show, the website, the blog, are all about our podcast, Thoughts from the Bench.
Correct.
No more company.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Company's gone. I've told the C-suite. I have not told HR yet. They'll be okay. 2 Beers Deep will still live in something. I mean, that might just turn into brewery reviews.
I'm imagining the C-suite is like Marsha, and like Nico shows up sometimes, and like and like
Pete
Jeremiah
has like a 1% share technically.
Maybe Gil. I don't know.
Is Chips okay? Yeah, guys, please, everybody that is Thoughts on the Bench, start piling the questions in. Smalls says, "Oh my God, why do I feel so old after watching that?" We are. NBA says, "Sweet sports wouldn't be the same without 3 of you fun gentlemen. Appreciate you." Ty says, "Is Chip still employed as HR?"
Yes.
Chip is still the HR manager. He just is now a freelance HR manager.
Yeah, I was gonna say employed is a loose term here that we don't want to be throwing around necessarily, but yes, he is HR.
I feel like I got fired on paternity leave. I'm suing, says Bo.
You've been on paternity leave for months.
Yes, that's the point, Greg.
Yeah.
That baby was born like when?
I heard that baby can talk and is riding a motorcycle already.
I don't think you were on paternity leave in February though, when RKC never came back.
Yeah, that's some bullshit right there. So I don't want to hear it.
So we will be still enlisting our roster. We're not calling them employees, to Greg's point. Our roster of people to fill in for this show and come up with content ideas. Vo's been doing stuff on the Instagram. It's been great. Smalls says at least we're not pretending we get paid anymore.
True.
Well, yeah,
shout out to Will Marshall Fitness. Shout out to
Union Fitness.
Shout out to Union Fitness.
Oh, I wish I had the ad read.
Oh yeah, dude. True.
Shout
out to
I've read it so many times you would think it'd be I've read it so many times. You think it'd be ingrained in my head, but it's not
Shout out
anymore.
to Coors. Shout out to Twisted Tea.
Yep. Anybody
Is that
else?
it?
You said By the Wayside, right?
Yes.
Okay. They were the OGs.
That baby's 3 now by Josh's math.
Shout out Killian. He can already talk at this point.
Football's back, gambling's back, fantasy's back, so blogs will be back. This show's back. We're making it mandatory. I never received a single paycheck. NBA, you were just right there, man.
Right, yeah.
Shut
right
down.
before it got shut down, bud. Sorry.
Welcome to an 8-year startup, man. You were almost there.
Check your mailbox. Check your mailbox, maybe. It might have arrived by now.
Yeah.
Got stuck to the
Just
side.
Don't you have that PO box in
Exactly.
Minnesota? NBA, we sent it to. So yeah, so nothing will not. I mean, how many more times can we make sappy videos and get 10 viewers because of it? Should we just try it every week?
I think that's
Shout
it's
out
that
to
song.
Scratch.
It's that song
Sid
because it
said
did
shout
the
out
same thing
Scratch.
for Twitch.
Shout out Scratch.
Yes. Shout out Scratch. Shout out Stinkies. Six Pen.
They never gave us anything.
No, that's true, but
Yeah.
they did. No, they did because the one waitress called the fish thing the Greg. That's
That's right.
And it did give us arguably our funniest moment of Josh getting just absolutely Oppenheimered by fucking the fat boy, Mark Madden.
Oh yeah, true. Yep.
That was
Man. Scratch. Yeah, fun story about Scratch. Dawn has been putting me in group chats about a soft ice cream machine they're getting, and it's another guy named Derek, and I texted him, and he said, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And then another one came
Spelled
by.
this name?
And it was spelled different. He was just a Derek in his phone. So it came by again, and I texted. I said, "I think that's the wrong machine, guys." And they all were freaking out. And I texted Dawn on the side. I said, "Dude, stop fucking adding me to these group chats." And he was like, "Ugh." I was like, "Ah."
And
Oh,
maybe
he's
Rick's
hoping
got
that-
a Steelers mini helmet. Fuck yeah, man.
Good. What's the next?
Maybe he's hoping for you to pick up some like extra work on the weekend or something.
I
you
told
know?
him. I said, "You saw how shit I was at front of the house. I can't do back of the house, bud."
Greg leaves to join the army would actually be a dope fucking video.
There is something there, Josh, about a video, like a weekly video series where it's last time on Two Beers Deep,
And it's just
and
like
we have we
some
have like
dumb-
super terrible Spanish dubs and like Greg with a backpack being like, "Don't forget me," and just gets on a bus. There's something about it. Like Josh is just standing there and the camera pans and he's looking at a sign of Laramie.
Yeah.
Like there's something like we could get going here. Thank you, Sid. We could get going. Guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you do all subscribe.
Yeah, I'll put the full one out here after the show because there were a lot of people who I'm sure did not tune in.
No, yeah. Let's get that up on the socials after the show, if you don't mind. I can help out as well. All right. So another change that we added because we are 3-headed penis. No more Josh being off screen at the start. Didn't feel good. Felt stupid. And then you cried. Why was it
I did.
sad cry?
Because it was the gesture was very kind, but it also meant that the intro would be different entirely.
Yeah, I said executive decision. Fix it now.
Yeah.
I knew that I knew you were gonna say, well, I got to change shit, but also at the same time, you just got to skip a scene, right?
Yeah. Oh, I deleted it. I was just like, okay, done. Okay.
Oh man, if the screen doesn't cut to black and Journey doesn't start playing, I'm not coming back.
Okay. I'm going with Separate Ways though. Fuck, Don't Stop Believing.
Oh my gosh. We got a lot of generic sports stuff to cover. We got some All-Stars, some free agent, some football, and a mock draft to finish the show. We will drop the link in the chat when that happens at the second hour, I'm assuming.
You can officially retire only if you pull off the Tom Cruise jumping off a cliff with a bicycle stunt.
Get on there, Greg.
Yeah.
Whoa, too far. We're not Tom Cruise. We're not Tom Cruise. We don't do our own
Greg,
stunts.
because we're a normal height. That's why it's literally the only thing stopping us from being Tom Cruise. Are you 5'4"? No. Okay, then
thank
you're not
God.
Tom Cruise.
I want Greg
Thank
on like
God.
the Bobby's World big wheel going off the cliff, like the plastic one.
The
Listen,
Bobby's World Big Wheel is great.
Bobby's World Big Wheel was the shit. I'm sorry. I wish I had that when I was growing up.
It's funny.
Yeah, so that's all things. I did text Chip about it just so everyone knows. I
Okay,
texted him and said, "Hey, just so you see the video, this is what's happening before you lose your shit."
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, you have in the past like told some of your closest friends
Oh, the logo
that
change
you were
is very
moving
nice, Josh.
to Nashville.
Yeah, I have used Chip to
Torture
to do
people
my
before.
bidding, as you will.
That, which was excellent. I'm still
I
mad
don't
that I
even like
was
sports
not
anymore.
able
I'm just
to
watching
be
for
part of
Greg.
that deal. Still.
Facts, Vo. That's why I do the show anymore. Just watching for Greg. Yeah, I agree, Greg. All right,
The
Josh.
video just got all that stuff because my internet.
Hold on.
So yeah, why not?
Wait, where is it? Where is
All
it?
we
I got
heard
it, I
was,
got it, I got it.
why not? You lagged up a storm there.
Mm,
Hold on,
see
Josh.
what I mean?
Josh
Hang
has
on, I have a-
actually, we have a fix.
We have something now. So now when Greg's mic stops working, we're just gonna start playing this song instead.
Can barely hear it. Can barely hear it. All we can hear is one sentence. There we go. You need to key that up as a button.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sid writes in, if Josh can chicken fight with Jason Momoa on his shoulders, he can do his own stunts.
That's right.
We had a chicken fight draft.
That's right.
All right, let's
Yeah.
have a show.
All right. Let's start with Steelers training camp.
Here we go. Here we go. Pittsburgh's gone to the Super Bowl. Here we go.
Cheer the Steelers, black and the gold.
Here we go.
This town of Pittsburgh's heart and soul.
Yeah, big camp news coming out. Shout out to Alex Kozora, Steelers Depot. That's how I've been staying up to date here. I said it when the intro was playing. I want to talk about, unfortunately, Corey Trice. So Corey Trice, we took him 7th round, pick 241. He, I think, tore is it Achilles or his ACL?
I'll look it up.
I don't remember which specific injury it was. I just know it was
Season.
non-contact. Yeah, season-ending non-contact when he came down and he had to get carted off. No one ever said if it was ACL or Achilles or anything yet. But yeah, season-ending. We're not gonna get Corey Trice, who a lot of us thought was a steal in the 7th round.
Freak athlete, definitely different than the corners we've had in the past. Athletic. I liked him a lot because he didn't need to do anything
Just a
right away.
significant knee injury.
Okay. Thank you, Josh. He didn't have to do anything right away. He was doing really well in camp. I mean, JPJ's been destroying it. We still have Patrick Peterson, who's moving all over the field. Very happy with the corners for the first time in a long time, I would say here. But that is upsetting. So I just wanted to start with that news. Greg, what has been kind of your big takeaway from camp so far?
So far, how about the fact that George Pickens is on an absolute tear to prove why he is the best wide receiver in football? What was the quote that I believe he said? That
I am the best.
if you put a guy with 99 blocking, 99 speed, and 99 catching, that's me. I love the confidence from George Pickens. And if anyone saw on Twitter, by the way, or what is it now? By the way, I gotta make sure to reroute this now. If anyone saw on X, mind you, if anyone saw on X the incredible just one-handed absurd catch that he did to absolutely show up JPJ, that's all you need. That's all we need now. Like, George Pickens is going to essentially become one of those guys that you just throw the ball to and pray to God something magical happens, and odds are it's going to work. But I love so far from camp that George Pickens looks like he's on a mission to prove he's the best receiver in football. Aside from that, I think it's been business as usual at camp. Nothing crazy, nothing too over the top. I think everyone's kind of doing their job.
I agree with whatever you said, Greg. So the other news coming out of camp that I do want to touch on, because some concerns with Pickens. I'm not being a Debbie Downer. He does be tossing around the hands a little OPI-ish. I hate that I'm the one saying this. He had a catch today on someone where he just went boom and shoved him and caught the ball. And I was just like, but he's a
He
freak.
doesn't know his own strength. What do you want
Facts.
from him?
He's a dog.
He
I'd
doesn't know
rather
what to do.
a receiver
dog.
that gets that every time and has OPI and catches the ball than somebody that is a little bitch.
Yeah, because let's be real, there. OPI is only what, a 5-yard penalty?
Yep.
Like it's not that big a deal.
And they probably won't call it.
I think that
Exactly.
needs to be like a catchphrase, like you're throwing X around a little too OPI for me. Like you need to reel it in a touch.
Which is funny because he's the X receiver too.
Yeah. Josh, what has been any news or anything you've heard out of camp or anything? And I figure we'll just keep doing this because I have some headlines I want to talk about.
Well, my favorite thing is what we didn't. I had this written down in my notes for a month or so now. I'm tired of videos of Deontay Johnson's off-season training where he never actually catches the ball. He just looks good running routes. You won't impress me till you can prove you can catch the damn ball.
He's the first wide receiver with a sponsorship from Cones.
Yes. And we've seen some catches, contested
Look,
catches.
Here's one thing
which
I'll
is
say
good.
about Deontay. He is the only receiver last year with, I don't know if it was over 100 targets or what it was.
Without a
that
TD.
didn't have a TD.
Yeah.
And so my point is he needs to learn to catch the ball, which he knows how to catch the ball. He's Deontay Johnson. But
I think he gets like too much slack for that end of the season 2 seasons ago where he dropped so many significant passes. Like last year he was consistent, I would argue.
yes, but I would say the offense was up and down. And so this year I think he has a chance to prove himself. But Josh is correct that every video of his
he did not
George is out there mossing our like number 32 overall pick. Like that's a catch. And Deontay Johnson is working on the cones.
Yeah, the cones. There's not one video of him with a jug machine. Not one. And I'm just like, buddy, just get in front. Just stand in front of that thing. You could even put it on slow. I won't know the difference. I just want to see you in
Speed
front
it
of
up
the
in
jug machine.
Post will deal with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll fix it in post. Another headline I heard coming out of camp. I'm going to move to a funny one as opposed to a serious one. Apparently, Mason Rudolph has been absolutely the quarterback 3. So not that Mitch is lighting the world up. Kenny's looked great. Mitch has been very good. Mason apparently has been bad.
Have you noticed
I
that
would
all
argue-
of the JPJ clips are Mitch throwing the ball though?
It sucks.
It's every
I would
time.
argue that Mason's actually QB4 because I've heard Tanner Morgan has been getting some good reps in camp at stuff. So
I heard Killian is due to be QB3. Bo's kid. That's who I heard is going to be QB3 this year.
Well, he's about 7 now.
Yeah.
So
he's apparently already kicking a soccer ball, so he's ahead of the curb in some respect.
He's also going to be much higher up the depth chart than Tristan Jari, but that's besides the point.
some other stuff. Shut up. Some other stuff coming out of camp. They have loved what they've seen out of the middle linebackers.
Good.
Holcomb and Roberts have been great. I think adding Quan Alexander, which has been awesome to sign, and we got him for like 1.3 or 3.1.
It was
mil,
cheap,
one of
yeah.
those changes, yeah. Leal, he has been playing all positions across the front. So been really cool to see where they position him. Corners look great. Defense has won most of the days. And Alex said today, he said, I normally don't try to present stuff that's not in front of us, but I would be pretty shocked if Broderick Jones didn't start at left tackle, moving Dan Moore to right tackle, what every Steeler fan wanted when we drafted him. Great.
I read a really good article from Dan Moore that was quoted after the Broderick Jones pick was taken and how he has essentially kind of embraced being the guy to kind of help Broderick Jones teach him on the fly and all that. And I appreciated in the line where he's talking about how it's a Steelers culture because, you know, Brett Kiesel and Aaron Smith did the same thing for Cam Hayward and all of these other guys. So that's something to say a lot about Dan Moore, that he worked so much, and you hear all this praise about how much he's improved and all that, but he's been taking it in stride right there. So that's a really great mark of a high professional. But I'm still curious if they actually do end up starting Broderick Jones week 1 at left tackle. Because I think the knock is still the fact that the first 3 weeks of the season he gets Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, and Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Well,
that's just that's a lot. That's a lot for a rookie.
It is, but my pushback would be, I would rather a rookie that has the talent and ability start in those positions and maybe have a bad first 3 weeks, then shove Chooks or Dan in there and just be like, well, they're in there because they've gotten their ass kicked by Nick Bosa before, so they'll know what to do. Like we've been here, Greg, and our line hasn't been great. And I know James Daniels has apparently looked like one of the best guards we've had in years out of camp.
Right.
I think that Samualo, however you say his Isaac from the Philadelphia, like we have a very good line right now.
Siamulo, I think
Thank
is
you.
how you
There was
say
so
it,
many
yeah.
vowels. It was a wordle
know.
word.
You'll learn it. We always learn the Polynesian names.
We try to.
Chris
Vita
Fuamatu
Veo
Mahatala.
was so easy, man. Here's the other thing I want to say, that it depends on a lot of variables.
Mhm.
Our boy, Darnell Washington, apparently won multiple reps against TJ Watt.
I saw that. Oof.
You line him up, Greg, on a 2 tight end set right next to Broderick Jones. Right next to Nick Bosa. Right there in that beautiful spot.
Just give him
Max
help.
Crosby. I will take Broderick Jones at left tackle
Yeah.
with the help of Darnell Washington
Yeah.
block
Yeah.
to get him in the position that we drafted him to be.
Also knowing you're
Now he's
not
gonna have 1,000
losing
season this year.
and you're not losing anything by leaving him there to help support.
Exactly.
Mm.
Greg is doing the show from space.
Oh yeah, I am. That's where my house is actually located. It's not in one part of Pittsburgh. It's
That's why it's so
actually
dark
up
there.
near Mars. Yeah, absolutely. It'll get lighter soon.
The Broderick Jones news might be my favorite part of training camp to this point.
Yep.
Not
I think
just
that's
because he was my highest rated lineman on the draft show.
He was.
But that kid with all that swagger is delivering. Because it would be really easy to get swallowed, especially he's so young. He walked out as a sophomore as a lineman.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts. To go
at
play
the national championship winning school at 22, he was their guy.
and he just walked onto the Steelers and now is their guy? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Steelers prioritize youth, man. That's awesome. And
we haven't had a lineman with that kind of swagger since Alan Faneca.
And Faneca wasn't even swag. He was just a mauler. He was just a dude that wanted to destroy people.
Hall of
And
Fame.
A lineman, I'd say Pouncey.
Yeah.
Pouncey was a center, though. You know what I mean?
I just like Pouncey because from the moment we got him, him and Ben.
True. They were boys.
Were like
Yep.
the thing.
Yeah,
But I'm with you.
yeah.
I'm
You're
very
right,
much
right.
with you.
Yeah. I mean, like
Um,
right away, I loved DeCastro just because you put him in and he just looked like he
Yeah.
swallowed people in the
True.
hole.
Castro. Villanueva.
Something I will also appreciate about training camp so far from what I've seen from this team, like, is it just me or is this the deepest that we've seen this roster in a long time?
This entire roster?
Just from every position group that they have.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I mean, I have the roster up. Quarterback, I would feel comfortable with Trubisky in. After
Yeah.
that, it doesn't matter. Jalen Warren and Anthony McFarland have had great camps. Guys that aren't our starting, so starters, DJ Pickens, Robinson. You have Calvin Austin. Gunners caught everything thrown his way. Cody White's been apparently really good. I don't trust any of them. Hakeem Butler, big target. That's fine. I like Miles Boykin as a name. Tight end, I love all 4 of our tight ends. Connor Hayward might start at fullback. Line, deep. I love Nate Herbig. I love LaRaven Clark. I love Dan Moore as a backup. I like Kevin Dotson at the guard position as a backup. And then you get to the defense where, you have Larry Gunjobi still, who's amazing. Keanu Benton is the starting nose tackle on the roster, which is great. They still have Fehoko and they still have Montrevious Adams, Cam Hayward, but then you have DeMarvin Leal, Armand Watts there. Nick Herbig's been winning in camp, which is amazing. Quan's technically listed as a backup
defenseman, man.
tight end. Yeah, or a backup linebacker. Agreed. You look at, cornerback. Levi Wallace is not a starter. I love him. Keanu Neal, not a starter at the safety position with KZ. And then you have Trey Norwood and Kenny Robinson at center, which is backing up. I mean, this is top to bottom one of the more safe positions I've been. The guard is not Nate. So the guard is Nate Herbig. The linebacker is Nick. Nate is on offense. Nick is on defense. NBA rigged.
He wants to know how he is.
Oh, I thought you said is the been good. I mean, he was great for the. I think he was on the Jets before this.
Think so.
For me, it's a depth play, which I love, and he's a good character guy. And I think the fact that we drafted his brother, the Steelers love brothers, but his brother's been tearing it up. But Nate's been good.
He's also just like was an electric factory when he came over.
Yeah, he was sick.
Yeah. And I think they recognize too with the line, especially like they're not going to have everyone healthy for 17 weeks. Like last year was kind of like it was an anomaly in that regard. So I appreciate the fact that they were like, okay, let's not hedge our bets here. Like let's get some depth, and then we'll be able to manage it even if something goes wrong.
He was a Jet, and before that, an Eagle.
Okay, nice. So he was part of the. I mean, the Eagles we've gotten have been amazing.
Yeah. All right, you want to move on to the rest of the NFL?
Yes, let's do it.
Sweet. Running back situation continues to plague the NFL.
Yeah, man, running backs. I mean, I guess here's the question I'll ask to you, fine gentlemen. Running backs are not being paid based on production. They are being paid based off of I don't even know how to describe it. They're just not getting paid, right? So Saquon wants to be paid more. Josh Jacobs led the league in yards last year, not getting paid. Whose side are you on for this between the teams and the running backs? Because it's so grossly convoluted, but I'm going to tell you guys both to your faces, I'm not paying a single running back that kind of money.
What about when Najee's up?
He has not been good enough to deserve elite money. I love Najee. He has not been good since we drafted him. And hey, maybe we'd be in a worse shape because the line in the passing game sucked his first year with Ben. The second year, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing with Matt Canada. So maybe he saved us a ton. No, there's not a running back on the field right now that I go, you have to pay that guy.
Right. And I mean, yeah, Jacobs led the league last year, but like Saquon being the golden goose. Well, hang on. Christian McCaffrey.
Who'd they go to the Super Bowl with? 3 undrafted free agents.
True.
Well, no, Elijah was a 6th round. But that's the point. They went with Raheem Mostert.
Yep.
Elijah Mitchell was a part of that team. And then they had Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah, I forgot about Jeff
that's
Wilson.
The thing. Do you know who really screwed this up for everybody? There's a couple names. But the big name that screwed this up for everyone wants to say it's Austin Eckler. It's Melvin Gordon. The Chargers drafted Melvin Gordon in the first round in the same year as Todd Gurley. Melvin Gordon gets no touchdowns his first year, but is good. Goes into his second year, gets his touchdowns, is Melvin Gordon finally, is a top running back. Comes out his third year, does well again. Fourth year, does okay. Team picks up an undrafted free agent. They let Melvin Gordon walk, and they start Austin Eckler. And Austin Eckler has been a top 5 running back since that moment. Now Austin Eckler wants his bag, and the team goes, no, we'll just find another one of you. It's crazy.
I was conflicted on this when the running back news started happening because, quite frankly, like as the years have kind of gone on and I've gotten a bit more educated in terms of sports and how the business side works, I'm firmly on the getting players as paid as well as they possibly can. You know,
I
think
we
Greg,
all
are.
You are, as a GM of a team, tell me to my face that you are paying Saquon Barkley the money he wants, or Josh Jacobs, or Jonathan Taylor. Are you going to pay Jonathan Taylor?
I can't. It's not smart business, and that's where I'm going to bring this up. Is that I think also this has been a long time coming. As the draft nerds that we are, Deke.
Yeah.
Going like if you look at the 90s and the early 2000s, if you want. The first round is just littered with guys that were drafted because of their production, and none of them necessarily were made differences or were world beaters. Like we're at the point now where like there were times like you remember Trent Richardson was a top 5 overall pick at one point. Like you know, Cedric Benson, Ronnie Brown, Cadillac Williams, like Keyjana Carter, like all of these guys that were drafted high because teams looked at the running back position as a talent and thought that talent like correlates to the game. No. Teams were smart enough to realize that having a balanced and very good offensive line 9 times out of 10 will lead to a very good rushing attack, regardless of who's in the backfield, especially in today's game where almost everyone kind of trains so well and everyone kind of has has the access to the ability to better themselves on a pro team. It was eventually going to happen at some point. And also I'm on the belief too, this isn't going to slow down anytime soon. I think we are going to see a situation in the next 5 years where wide receivers end up in the same situation.
I strongly disagree on 2 reasons.
I'm with Greg.
Then you go.
I feel like we have seen this click with receivers in general where they are getting whatever they need in college to come out and be elite immediately.
And
I think that'll end up being where running backs are now.
So you guys sit here and you think wide receivers will not get paid.
I think wide receivers are destined to go the way running backs are, just like Greg does.
So somewhat to a degree with Josh. I think it's more so also based on the fact that the way that the college game has progressed to that degree that you take what college is producing for you. It seems like almost every year there's some sort of elite group of receivers that is continuously coming out and making headways and stuff.
Yes.
You remember 2 years ago, we had that situation where Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown, and Tyreek Hill all changed teams because, frankly, their original teams did not want to pay them. And
the teams were not only willing to pay them, Greg,
Mhm.
all of those teams were willing to give up massive capital.
True. But
Your quarterback needs a receiver. Your offensive line does not need a running back.
But that's where also the bubble's going to start coming in as well, because if your quarterback is going to get the majority of the pie, essentially, you have to kind of weigh the good with the bad then, because you're looking at it from especially if quarterbacks continuously go up and up and up, you're going to have to eventually get receivers to be on cheaper deals in order to manage the cap to that situation as well. Because like Stephon Diggs even left Minnesota left Minnesota, went to Buffalo, got paid. Minnesota replaced him with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but name another situation.
With that pick they got from
that's
Buffalo.
such an outlier. New York loses
I
Odell
get
Beckham Jr. Who'd they replace him with? Kansas City Chiefs lose Tyreek Hill. Who'd they replace him with?
Tyreek, they don't care. They won a Super Bowl without Tyreek.
I could do
Hill.
this. Yeah, but I could do this all day, Greg. The difference here is that a wide receiver is the perfect combination of the team needs him and the quarterback to be on the same page. They're always tied to the quarterback, and there are outliers like DeAndre Hopkins, who doesn't really even need a quarterback to throw him the ball. It's just good. But you can't. I mean, who have the Texans replaced DeAndre Hopkins with? Who have the Cardinals replaced DeAndre Hopkins? Well, we could, you know what I mean? Who have the Titans replaced AJ Brown with? Traylon Burks the bust. Like you can sit here
and DeAndre Hopkins actually.
You can't. Well, yeah, now full circle. But you can't say it's the same there, because the wide receivers that left to say, well, they just replaced him with the best receiver in football. That is, that's an outlier, and I know that's an outlier. But the difference here is that the wide receiver position is less durable, less snaps, less wear and tear up to the professional level. Running backs are on the field from high school to college to the pros every snap. They need to block, chop block. They get chop block. They get taken down. They get hit big. The durability of running backs is the reason why teams won't pay them. I understand there's a lot about the proficiency of UDFA players when a guy like Austin Eckler can run behind, or Tony Pollard, for example, can run behind and be that guy. The difference genuinely comes down to injuries and durability and the lifespan. 2 things to bring up here is, one, the average lifespan of a running back is, if they get the second contract, it's a glorious day. And by second contract, I mean worth it second contract, like Zeke.
No, I get it. Yeah. No, I get it. And the second contract is rare in and of itself, and it's probably never gonna happen with most running backs now at this rate, honestly.
Yes. And then the other reason that I strongly just disagree with wide receivers eventually getting to that bubble, the misses on wide receivers is just as, if not greater, than running back. Team would rather bring in the top guy. I mean, we can name Mike White out of WVU. was
Yep.
a surefire stud for the
Oh,
Bears.
Kevin White. Kevin White.
Or Kevin White, excuse me. Thank you. Mike White, the quarterback for the Jets. Apologies.
Yeah,
Kevin White.
Yeah.
Um,
Jalen Rager, Laquan Treadwell. Yeah, we
Treadwell.
can.
That was a pull.
That
That was a pull.
Dude, Justin Blackman out of was it Texas Tech? He went to the Jaguars. He was like the guy.
What is it, Justin Blackman?
DUI issues. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, you can't like wide receivers. And the other thing is, guys, it's a passing league.
OSU. Oklahoma
State. Oh, yeah,
Oklahoma
that's right.
State.
That's
Yes,
right.
yeah, dude, he was the guy. And okay, so real quick, NBA says I'm on the side of the GM. Running back value is declining for sure since college is still producing high level. Out of college, top 10 making 10 mil is fine. Wide receiver market is declining soon, just like you guys are talking about. Everyone wants to play QB or wide receiver on offense, hence their market value will decline very soon. I strongly disagree with the quarterback market value and wide receiver value declining. The way football's gone, and the only
quarterbacks
real
matter more than they ever have.
But they do, because pass interference can get your team 70 yards.
Right.
Like a
Yeah.
rush, you can run the ball and you can be Nick Chubb and you can go, we got 3 yards and then 5.5 and then we got 4 yards. Oh, he broke off for 30 yards. Cool. Or you can be Patrick Mahomes. You can be Jalen Hurts, who rushes with it, Lamar, who rushes with it, Josh Allen, who rushes with it, Russell before you can have a quarterback and just surround him with really good players in the air, and then just get a 3-headed monster running back and run into the 600-pound dudes in front of you and risk their lives.
Right.
There is no way a wide receiver. Now, here's the thing. Here's the difference. They might cap wide receivers. They will never pay a wide receiver the money we are seeing tossed around to running backs right now. It will not decline that heavy. We may cap it. We sat here and thought Patrick Mahomes' contract was insane.
And it's only going up.
He's the 7th highest paid quarterback right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, actually, I remember when he signed that contract, there were some people that thought it was a bargain because of how long it was
there's
and how much it
backloaded
saved them.
incentives. Yeah.
Backloaded. Yeah, that's fair.
He had to basically win the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl and MVP every year to get all that money.
Right, but it's just I get what you're saying, Deep, but like the way I look at it is, and yes, it is a passing heavy game, but it is also still a passing heavy game in college. You know, the air raid offense, the spread offense. Like there's always going to be this this churn of receivers that are coming out that are going to be just as explosive and just as crazy athletic as some of the guys that are in the league right now.
Do you believe that's a direct correlation to wide receiver production? Because I'll give you 2 names. Cooper Kupp.
If they're going to produce in the pros, you mean?
Yeah. Cooper Kupp.
Depends on the offense. Yeah.
That's one of them. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Was
Cooper
he good in
Kupp
college,
was
Greg?
Eastern Washington. There was some buzz about him when he was drafted.
Not Eastern Washington.
I thought it was Eastern Washington.
Nope.
Eastern.
Nope.
Damn, this is gonna drive me nuts now.
I know exactly where it is, and I think it's Louisiana Tech. Josh?
Waiting.
No.
Loading. Eastern Washington, Greg was right.
Damn it.
I was with
know
you.
who I'm thinking
I
of?
loved it.
You know who I'm thinking of? Trent Taylor, the 49ers.
That's
small
exactly
white
who I
slot
thought.
receiver.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So that is the first name that I will say here that doesn't have.
That
to
was
do with...
Louisiana Tech. Close.
Damn, yeah. What'd I say?
Alabama Tech.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Louisiana Tech because it was an L, which was their state, which I thought was a terrible logo.
No,
for
you're
school.
good. You're good. You're good.
The other name, genuinely, that'll give you. I'll give you a guy like Mike Williams. Serviceable. Never, ever, ever sniffing top dollar. A freak at Clemson.
Mike Williams was a first-round draft pick. He did get paid. He got a 5-year contract. So like it's not like he's a scrub or anything
But
like
they're
that.
paying those guys 5-year, $10 million a year. They're not going to ever look at Justin Jefferson and say that's your cap.
It is
No,
also it's tough, right? Because like we're Steelers fans, right? And we never pay the second contract to receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And so like
3 receivers, Josh.
AB, Hines Ward, Lynn Swan.
It was a 1-year return deal for a guy that couldn't get a job anywhere.
Juju.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cooper Kupp, his 2 prime years, 2015, he played 11 games, 114 receptions, over 1,642 yards, 19 tutties.
He had the triple crown. Now, granted, he's injury prone as shit anymore.
Yeah.
His quarterback can't throw the ball,
Mhm.
but he had the triple
Yeah.
freaking crown. And what I'm saying here is the college production of it. But
Right. And then Mike Williams' college stats. His best year couldn't even touch Cup. His junior year, he played 15 games, had 19 receptions, 1,361 yards, and 11 TDs.
But in fairness, like with him, it was all about the measurables. It was about the speed and stuff that got him. Also
Dry
drafted
Archer.
with him as well.
Archer who?
4.2 speed, baby.
DRI space Archer, Josh.
10th State Golden Flash, 3rd-round pick of the Steelers. Should have been so much better. Should have been.
Try Archer.
Oh my God.
College.
It's tough, man. I mean, here's another one: Amari Cooper versus Julian Edelman. I understand that one was
Edelman
with Tom
was
Brady.
quarterback.
Oh
too,
my
so
God. Okay, this was comparable. Oh wait, he was a running back.
He played whatever position the offense needed because he needed
He was
to get on the
he was
field.
an offensive weapon. He was the Denard
Okay.
Robinson, but of
14 games,
different era.
150. Oh, see, these are his rushing things, though. This isn't his receiving. Passing. This says he only had one attempt.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. Anyway, go ahead.
So
DeMarcus Ware is singing the national anthem at the Hall of Fame game, FYI. Bueno just texted me.
Really?
That's what he said.
Oh my God, that's
Do
awesome.
not turn it on. Pay attention. What were you saying?
I was gonna say when I brought up the offensive weapon type designation for a second, is it possible? And I don't foresee it happening anytime soon because again, the CBA is not up for I think till 2030. So like running backs are kind of stuck.
Yeah.
With this, but could you see that being like a push to not classify the franchise tag based on position moving forward and to kind of just make it be offense and defense?
I'd be interested in that. I mean, that gets into the Jimmy Graham scenario where he took 46% of his snaps out of the slot, so he wanted to be paid as a receiver, and they said no or whatever it was.
That's the defensive end outside linebacker thing too, because like in a 3-4-4-3, like you're essentially like in a different position, and some guys were classified as linebackers instead of pass rushers and
Hand
stuff
in
like
the
that.
dirt.
So that's hand in the dirt. Yeah, that's right.
There was definitely an owners meeting where they said, "Hey, if we just stop paying these guys, we can franchise tag them for cheap."
Yep.
And Jim Irsay said,
yeah.
"I will be your champion."
Of all people, not the
Yeah.
best look. Not the best look.
What other football topics do we have, Josh?
Well, our next topic would be trade deadline for baseball.
Okay, let's do that.
Cool. All
We
right.
got 13 minutes till the mock.
Yeah. Greg.
Okay, so there's two big stories from the deadline that we have to discuss, but a fun story that I want to get into with that. Did you guys hear about the Eduardo Rodriguez trade to the Dodgers that didn't happen?
He turned it down. He activated his no trade clause.
Yes, he had the Dodgers on a list of teams that he wouldn't accept a trade to. So
Why?
my train of thought in my head is thinking, that's my point. Apparently, he didn't want to leave his family on the East Coast for 2 months of the season that he was going to be essentially contending for a pennant with the Dodgers. And he's a free agent after this year too. So the logic in my head does not make sense at all. Why in the world you would turn down going to play for the Dodgers in Los Angeles for 2 months, maybe 3, while you're trying to win a ring, and actually,
Bro.
and then cash in after the season if you want for wherever the fuck you want to go.
You
I
pay me
don't-
any amount of money, I'll fly away from my family for 2 months.
Absolutely,
I love
anyone
Chip and
would.
Marsha. Yeah, pay me money to
Anyone.
throw a ball. I'll take a 2-month
Absolutely.
vacation.
Absolutely, makes no goddamn sense whatsoever what he did. But he's gonna cash in after this year, and I don't know whether it's I don't want to call it stupid. I don't want to call it bold.
You can call it
but
stupid.
we can call it stupid. Okay, it's stupid.
want,
Giving up,
yeah.
giving up, playing in LA for 2 months, maybe 3, for the sake, and still getting paid at the end of the season is just dumb. I'm gonna point that out. The two big stories from the trade deadline. Number one, the Angels are going for it, man. The Angels are going for it. They
And by it,
decided
you mean Shohei Ohtani.
they decided to keep Shohei. They decided to buy at the deadline, and there is no guarantee that they make the playoffs.
Crazy.
None. They are 4 games out of the last wild card spot. They have 2 months of the season left. The last half of their season is tough. They're playing all teams right now that are simply locked into a playoffs. Well, like rest of the season right now would be in the playoffs. So they got a brutal schedule upcoming, and they have no guarantee they're making the playoffs. Trout should be coming back within a week or two. And it's going to be dicey to figure out whether or not this was a good move or not, because the Angels don't make the playoffs. There's a very good chance that Shohei does not return to the Angels. I don't know whether, and that is something I don't know whether to call a bold move on the Angels' part or very dumb for not selling high on your hottest commodity.
Well, so here's my issue with the sell high thing, and I was originally very for it until I realized that they shouldn't be. You are selling high for what? What would you get in return?
That's the other problem too, is that
you can't trade draft picks in the baseball, can you?
No, you can't. And here, but the problem with that also is with Shohei, you're only getting him for 2 months. You're getting him for a rental.
Yep.
And how do you quantify? I don't know in terms of value how you quantify a pitcher and a hitter in one guy. So it's like I don't even know where to begin with that. That's.
I think we should begin saying, "Oh my God, how wrong you are."
Oh yeah.
Like,
what's more wrong? Wait. What's more wrong, Jaylen Brown or Shohei Ohtani?
Dude, I've had some bad takes. I don't know if I've ever seen the GOAT in one sport and the highest paid player ever in another sport be two guys that Greg hated at the beginning.
That contract is stupid, by the way.
You hated Jaylen Brown. Now, he's the highest paid player ever. I won't say you hated Shohei Ohtani because it goes deeper than that. You hated that guy, and now he's the greatest player your sport has ever seen, Greg.
I didn't. What I hated about the Ohtani thing originally is I can't see the two-way thing working as well as it did, and he just.
You said he was a circus freak.
I didn't say circus freak. You're putting words in my mouth.
Maybe.
Maybe, yes, but not freak. That's rude. How rude.
You said it, man.
But yeah, something like that. But no, credit. I don't know whether to give credit or just laugh at the Angels, because now I want them to not make the playoffs for the sake of I want to see what happens.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Because of this, it would be bad. But at the same time, I'm also like, God damn, I gotta give them credit for going for it. Like, you as a fan of any team, you want your team to go for it. So the fact that you're like, we're going to keep our best player, we're going to buy, and we're going to try to get into the playoffs with him and see where it goes. And if it fails, God damn it, you can't say we didn't do everything we can. So that's where I'm struggling with it. I don't know whether to like give them credit for this or to be like, you are so fucking stupid for wasting this golden opportunity on your part. But I digress on that one. And then the second big story is the collapse of the $350 million payroll that was the New York Metropolitans.
What happened?
Frank the Tank was right.
They sold everyone.
They sold almost everyone, yeah, but they sold everyone. Verlander's back with the Astros. Scherzer's a Ranger.
Which was crazy to me.
David Robertson, their closer, is a Marlin. And they traded a couple other guys to I'm trying to remember. I think they traded an outfielder to the Diamondbacks. They traded another guy to the Guardians, maybe. But no, they traded two former Cy Young winners that they spent a shit ton of money on in this past offseason for, and now are just completely off their books. And the crazy thing is that the owner has kind of come out and said, and basically admitted that we are not going to be probably in contention next year, and it's going to take probably 2 years to get us right back on track. That's mind-blowing to me to think about the fact that you spend all of this money to try to put together this supposedly like just all-star roster, and it just blew up in your face.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing to me that it just worked out so badly for the New York Mets. Now that part I'm frankly going to laugh at in that case.
Stickball, man. What a world.
Stickball's crazy. Stickball is just a crazy, crazy thing in general.
You think Ohtani's back next year?
With the Angels.
As of right now, I say no because I can't see Artie Moreno giving him the contract he deserves.
Okay. He'll be good on the Dodgers.
He said he wants to stay on the West Coast, so it's Dodgers or Seattle, more than likely. Apparently, he stays in Seattle during the offseason, so he really likes it.
I think that the owner of the Padres should show how much money he has, and not only pay Machado, Juan Soto, and Tatis, but pay him as well. That's
Dude,
how
like
you
the-
show poor people like me how much money you get.
Dude, the Padres are also a disappointment too. They don't want to make the playoffs either. There was talk that they were thinking about. There was legit an article rumor that came out that they were looking at offers for Juan Soto.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. After last year of selling as high as they did to get him, they were seriously considering offers to get rid of him again. It's amazing what happens in baseball, bud. Just changes just like that.
It's a stupid sport.
It is a great sport.
All right. Do Pirates do anything other than fucking sell and piss Marty off?
Yeah, they're trading. Why'd they get rid of Hill?
He's a 43-year-old lefty who was only signed for 1 year. So, I mean, and also, in fairness, I'm happy they got rid of Rich Hill because he is the only pitcher on that team that gave me anxiety every time he pitched. So, I'm glad. I'm glad
I think
he's
14
gone.
teams in 19 years or some shit
Yeah.
like that.
43 years old, bud. 43 years old. You watch him try to throw a fastball, and it just like is a goose egg that is just dropping perfectly in front of you for
Man,
it.
it's been around the block.
Yes, he has.
At some point, it's you at that point, right? Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna play sleeper mock draft, NBA rigged. I had to change it because for whatever reason that one started shitting out. So I put a new link in the chat. Anyone that wants to join, jump in. We did a 12 team. I guess I have it as 9 right now. Sorry, NBA. But yeah, we're gonna do a draft. So we will be right back after this.
She's got to be a vision. She's always been the first to come to mind. I can't make a decision of what to do with her once she is mine. I've got to get closer, closer. I've got to get closer, closer. I got a proposition, one that's sure to save us both some time. Why don't you come home with me? Maybe then you will see I got just what you say you need. I don't know if you came here alone. Tell you're right, find another way home. 'Cause you're coming home alone with me. She doesn't do tradition. She's got a very modern sense of class. I don't do superstition. I'll keep my fingers crossed that I make this last. I've got to get closer, closer. I've got to get closer, closer. I got a proposition, one that's sure to keep things moving fast. Why don't you come home with me? Maybe then you will see I got just what you say you need. I don't know if you came here alone. Tell you're right, find another way home. 'Cause you're coming home alone with me. Come home with me. Maybe then you would see I got just what you say you need. I don't know if you came here alone. Tell you're right, you found another way home. 'Cause you're coming home alone with me. I don't know if you She's got to be.
Oh shit! What did I do? All right, there we go. Here we go.
Josh, can you actually make it 14 teams before we come back? Because I don't want NBA to be acting like he told us to change it.
Okay, we're live.
No, tell him that. NBA, you don't tell us what to do, you fucker. I was like, I don't want to fucking know it. No, just kidding. NBA, you son of a bitch.
Okay. Sweet.
We're not changing the scoring though.
I'm not. You guys are.
Josh
asking a
doesn't know
lot.
how to.
Yeah, you're asking a lot at that point. Okay. Cool.
A lot of cool there.
This is a wink. NBA, I'm trying to give you a wink emoji, but I don't know which one it is. So you're just getting this. That's a wink. I don't know how to do it.
Was it semicolon and the end of parentheses?
There it is. Booyah! All right, NBA, let's do this, bitch.
Is he in here?
I don't. He said I only see so many teams. NBA, click claim on your team spot, bud.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Dre sent it to both my leagues.
You got a.
Thank you, Dre.
Okay, Kobe.
Look at you, Dre. Shout out to you.
Okay, so here is the thing, Josh. You will have to press randomize. I can help you get there in the settings.
Yep.
Some cool things that I've been doing here, just so you guys know from a mock perspective.
There's Kobe. Okay.
I have been running a ton of late round running backs, so avoiding the top guys outside of McCaffrey and Eckler, and just kind of taking wide receivers and seeing how it goes. It's been good. Just want to let you know, the three of you talking about sports, super dope fun. Cheers, boys. NBA, you have been an absolute. You're one of the reasons we do this show in the sense of just general community building with people we've never met before, brother. So we love you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Is he
I
on?
think,
Are you Julia Jones, NBA?
he is Julia Jones.
Okay, great, perfect. Okay.
So we have.
Do we want to wait?
Yeah. Give it till starting in 3. I'm just gonna copy that to all the groups
Okay.
because that way we can go. Have you guys done mocks?
Not yet. This will be my first.
Only just the one that we did previously, that one episode. I haven't really been focusing a lot, which I
Daddy Drew.
which I
Timmy's in
need to, by the way, because I think I have 1, 2, 3. I've already scheduled 2 mocks, or not 2 mocks. I already scheduled for 2 leagues for drafts, and I still got 2 more that are upcoming. So I should probably get the wheels.
I'll be in
motion on that.
3 leagues this year. It's the most I've ever done.
Hot diggity damn.
What
Yeah.
are the 3 leagues?
Us. I've
We
re-entered
have
the.
1 spot left.
I've
Wow.
re-entered the Tom Dubé draft or league.
Oh, nice.
Which I think will be. So I crashed that league when I left in 2021 because I wasn't allowed to have a team anymore when I started working at Wyoming.
Yeah.
And so I
Bastards.
sold all my players and quit setting my lineup and pissed a bunch of people off. So I'm back in that league. Hopefully I win it because that would just really be fucking awesome to just dick down that league. And then the work league.
Did you have to apologize just out of curiosity?
Fuck
for
no,
the
I
fact
don't
that you-
apologize. These assholes were taking Juju in the first round like he was a fucking one receiver. Bullshit.
Whoa. First of all, I love being in those leagues because I love taking advantage of stupid people.
Exactly,
So it
Greg.
works
So
out
why
very
would
well.
I apologize to the stupid people?
We're about to have a full mock because
sweet.
Dre's brother Arf is supposed to be coming. Love
Oh,
Arf.
the attractive
Arf!
brother.
Dude, hear me out. Dre's. I mean, he's losing some weight. He's
Suave.
looking kind of good.
Hey, Dre got a lady now, man. He's got to keep that work in, you know?
No, that's when
Timmy!
you stop working.
Timmy, long time no talk, brother. I missed you too.
Yeah,
He said
Timmy.
miss fantasy full mock season, my boys, but he put it in the sleeper chat, so I'll read that one, Josh, because I big screen that bitch.
Okay.
All right, let's get Arf in here, and then we'll press start.
Sweet. How do I randomize?
So you will go to the settings,
Okay.
and then go to where everyone has their draft order, and there should be something that says random draft order. You might want to wait till Arf gets in, just because he'll select the last spot, or the last spot can be his random spot.
We'll let him select here.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
the
right.
same thing, to be fair. So go ahead and do it.
Draft setting.
So, Deke, where did kind of
Draft
the strategy
order.
for doing your
random.
top guy first, and then running backs late come from? Just out of curiosity. Is that just something you?
It's a
like to
very
think about, or
popular,
like,
very popular thing to avoid running backs, because when you look at the success of running backs later, guys that are in that 3 through 7 round normally produce just a few points off of the high guys, whereas wide receivers, the drop off is massive. So that's kind of the point behind it.
Interesting. Okay.
Dre, is he coming?
He's in. He's in. We're good.
No, I mean Arf.
That's interesting because I would have thought the getting your bell cow kind of
Oh,
first
oh yeah, I see.
is like
So
the more
look at points. So if Justin Jefferson comes up with 302 points, Christian McCaffrey comes up with 301, the other running backs that you can get there would have somewhere in the same vicinity, whereas running backs or wide receivers are pretty top heavy. I normally agree with running backs, but you can get a guy like, Raheem Mostert, Dante Foreman, all these kind of maybe guys you pick up off the waiver and they're real. All right, start it.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Fire.
Yeah, Behrman's on a camping trip and Arf's not going to run in, so we're good.
Are you sure you want to start the draft this
Yep.
action? Okay.
The rank king is on the clock. We'll just kind of talk about each pick and then we're up. So I have the 5th pick. Elsas, you have the 10th. Greg, you have the 3rd pick. So I think you want one of the top 4 picks in these drafts. 5 is not bad. I know exactly. So it goes Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey. Very similar to the world. So Greg, you're up at 3.
So Justin Jefferson and Christian McCaffrey are kind of already off the board. I'm honestly I'm gonna go with Austin Eckler.
So
I want to get my back out of the way with, because I understand the logic, Deke, but I also believe that the number of receivers that are just like gonna get looks or gonna get touches, if you can just get a lot of them, I feel
Yep.
like you're able to kind of supplant.
Dude, Eckler and McCaffrey are the 2 running backs that are okay there. So you go through the top 4 there. Those are how it should go. You then get to Cooper Kupp, who has a hamstring injury. 60% of people that get injured in training camp don't hit their ADP. Granted, hitting an ADP of an ADP
Where
of
did you get
1.05.
that stat?
I am the fantasy football guy. I don't know what you're talking
He
about. So
is.
I'm going to do something I don't normally do here, which is give me Travis Kelce, and then I have positional grade. I am now positionally better than every team here, except for maybe whoever gets Mark Andrews.
Right.
Yeah,
Would you
I like-
say
yeah.
is this the last?
Kobe, don't
like,
fuck this up.
Is this the last like? big year? Oh my!
That's my boy. That's my boy. That's my boy.
Proud of that.
Yes.
I wouldn't be proud of that, because then it just kind of let Timmy get a talk. Like,
I love you, Kobe. That's
I guess.
fucking incredible.
we had good intentions for this show. This was off to a good start, so good job, Josh.
Damn.
Saquon Barkley, the next real pick goes, so Timmy knows what he's doing there. I'm excited to see how far Cooper goes. Dre is up now. Eckler and Chase going to be big time debate for the 3-4 spot. Dre says maybe. I wouldn't hate it. Bijan goes, so I do like Bijan in that spot there. I think Bijan. There's an argument to be made that Bijan could be a top 5 pick this year.
Oh yeah, and by the way, speaking with the running back situation that we were talking about earlier, Bijan, based on cap hit, is the highest paid running back in the league.
Shut up.
13 mil, man.
Crazy.
It's the rookie wage scale, which is crazy to think because the rookie wage scale was supposed to limit guys' salaries compared to veterans, and he's the highest paid running back based on cap. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Daddy Drew, anytime now.
So Barrowman is in the middle of the woods camping. He is trying.
That's not good because we have a no time limit.
Why do we have a no time limit?
So that we could talk.
Oh, that's the worst. That
was a bad
probably
decision.
a terrible decision.
Hey, you know what?
Can you
maybe
pause it and change the settings?
Maybe he doesn't do it from somewhere where he doesn't have.
Or I have literally never done a mock without a time limit.
What do you want to do?
Pause it and go to settings and see if you can add a time limit.
Yeah, I can pause draft. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
there we go. There we go.
Draft settings. What do you want the time limit to be?
A minute. Just do a minute.
A minute. Okay. Updated.
Have you guys ever been in a league where like
resume draft?
I think it
Time's
was
up.
my
I'm
brother-
up. Are you happy? Okay. I'm going with the idea that this guy may be a top 5 in all fantasy points this year. Give me Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all.
Okay.
I think that Mahomes, Hurts, Allen are the three guys you can be comfortable taking in the first 3 rounds. And if you want a positional advantage, Mahomes is the guy to go for.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I mean, also, but based on how the quarterback situation falls in, though, like I won a league last year with Justin Fields as my quarterback, so I
he
think
was
it's
amazing last year.
right, but it's splitting hairs at that point to try to figure out
NBA?
like who is
What do
the
you do?
top one to go for. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I could get Trevor Lawrence in the 10th round and I'll be thrilled.
You cannot get Trevor Lawrence in the 10th round. He's going as quarterback 6 this year.
Really?
Time to get my bell cow. I like Nick Chubb.
Diggs and Brown is a nice thing. Yeah, Nick Chubb, I mean, arguably the best running back. He's never finished as a top 5 running back in any format in fantasy football.
Well,
just
was that or
crazy.
Derrick
That's
Henry,
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah,
like-
no, Josh, I'm not knocking anything that you did there. I think that those are both quality point picks. Dre comes in with the Sun God, which
His
is good.
boy,
I actually really
yeah.
like Daddy Drew's auto draft right now, and then Timmy is back up.
CeeDee Lamb, I feel like should have a bigger year this year to a degree.
Yeah.
He's the clear cut number 1, and Brandon Cooks is also like definitely going to get some attention. But I feel like this is a big year for him to step up, especially
Still
if he
depends
wants
on
that,
who's hucking the ball, bud.
if he wants that big contract coming up for him.
Fair.
Doesn't matter if the ball's not in his hands. You know what I mean?
Not a Dak guy, I see.
I was. Too long. Too long have I been burned by the Dak. Return of the Dak. All right. Kobe
Return of
picked
the
Justin Tucker with his first. So
I'm
we'll
excited
see.
for his second
Yeah.
one. Timmy said, "Fuck
Oh.
that, pick up Garrett Wilson." No, I like that.
Boo,
Well,
Josh Allen.
He's
come
from
on.
he went to Wyoming when Josh Allen was at
Got it.
Wyoming. He
Got it,
currently
got it.
works at Wyoming.
Fair, got it.
Here's the interesting thing about what's going on.
And he's my friend.
So far, all of these wide receivers, including CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Garrett Wilson, have got ahead of Devontae Adams.
Which is absurd because people are paying too much attention to the quarterback situation.
And if he gets traded to the Jets midseason, he'll be a freak. So I will gladly walk out with arguably a wide receiver 1 there.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe
That's
literally
I-
texted me WYO after he picked Josh Allen.
I'm surprised he didn't take more Wyoming guys so far, Josh.
You know, you can't draft Chad Muma and Logan Wilson.
Where'd Justin Tucker go to school?
I don't know.
Greg, you're up.
This is where the taking the running back thing is coming back to bite me because I would have been more than happy with Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs as my
Right.
number 1 RB. So this is where I'm kind of a little mad about not doing the wide
Yes.
receiver first.
But you have Austin Eckler, who's great.
Yeah, so based on that, like I might as well just get Derrick Henry as my number 2 back.
And you're on a very short time here, so you got one of your guys, and then you're back into that territory of next. So
yeah. But
What
damn,
are you
that
gonna
actually,
target next?
I mean, I
You gotta go
I'm-
receiver.
Well, I could, but also like
Go
a
get.
flex running
Getting-
back at that position isn't terrible.
getting Hurts early wouldn't be the worst idea either. But
That'd be a terrible idea
Why is that a terrible idea?
because I want him.
Oh. I was like, why is that bad? That seems like a good
I
idea.
so those three quarterbacks, I'm a little bullish on in the second round now. Austin ended up taking them. Austin, just the J squad over there.
Yeah.
I'm cool with Mahomes, Allen, and Hurts in the second or third round. I'm okay with that. Normally, I hate it. I've always been very loud that I can win a league with Kirk Cousins in the last round.
Right.
I like not having to stress about it.
True.
Wow.
Except for that year that Patrick Mahomes got hurt. That was a pretty stressful year for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, luckily in my dynasty when I had him, I had Lamar Jackson too.
Whoops.
Yeah, so we're good.
Based
Take
on how
Trevor
the
Lawrence.
based on how the receivers are available right now, I'm gonna get the guy who I know is the number 1 on that team, and DK Metcalf.
Oh.
I have a huge regression year for Geno for no reason, so I can't even speak to that.
Right.
I mean, I imagine Geno will take a step back this year, obviously, because he lit the world on fire, and also like JSN coming in the offense might hurt Metcalf's production a little bit, but I just look at the rest of the team,
Yeah.
the rest of the guys lining up, and I think T Higgins, he's due for a contract, so he might be in for a big year, but like Jamar Chase will still get the majority of the looks, and
Yeah.
I love the Slim Reaper in Devontae Smith, but I could see the Eagles' offense maybe not being as explosive this year either. So
Yeah. I look for guys with a little more consistency. T's great. I think he's a great number 2. I wouldn't mind taking him here, but I have positional.
You need a running back.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Normally, I would try to go, but I don't like the way the receivers fell here. I thought about taking Mark Andrews and stacking him and Kelsey, but I don't like that better than I like Travis Etienne's upside.
Fuck
Doug
yes.
Peterson, Doug Peterson came out today and said Travis Etienne should have 16 to 1,700 rushing yards this year.
No doubt.
Aggressive, but okay.
No, because that's what he's capable of. And he was just
He's a
so
freak,
poorly mismanaged because of fucking Urban Meyer. And then last year, Peterson was just trying to get the boat to go in the right fucking direction.
I'm very bullish on Travis Etienne.
I am too. Well, I was bullish on him when he came out.
No,
Brees
I
Hall's
love
a
the
great pick
talent.
by
I mean,
quality as well.
well, in fairness, also, Josh, that first year with Urban Meyer, he didn't play because he got hurt. He got hurt in training camp, so like we had no idea what to
He
expect
did
with
play towards the end of the year, but yeah.
Yeah.
Timmy.
Barrowman texted me and said, dude, I'm so sorry my service is bad. I said, honestly, your team's pretty good.
Honestly, you're killing it. You got Tyreek Hill and
Hill
CeeDee
and Lamb
Lamb.
are sexy picks, man.
It's pretty good.
I'm excited for Timmy's next pick. My guess here, he goes running back. The thing is, the wide receivers here. So T. Higgins, great wide receiver, number 2. Devonta Smith, great wide receiver, number 2. And what those guys offer you is probably a floor of like 8 to 12 points a week with the occasional high upside 15 to 20. I don't hate Higgins there at all. It just, when you have guys like Debo and Keenan, maybe you lean that way, but those guys could easily be wide receivers 2 and 3 by the end of the year, with Ayuk being a big push there, and with Mike Williams and QJ.
Oh, is this finally the year for Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah, I was just gonna say Brandon
Dude.
Ayuk. I've gotten burned so many times
So
on
many
this,
times.
and I
Here's
can't
the
do
thing.
it.
So
I
you bring in
can't do it.
McCaffrey, so he'll do the rushing stuff, meaning that Debo Samuel has to go back to being a pure wide receiver. They're not going to let him touch the rush when McCaffrey gets paid, and he's not a better wide receiver in terms of overall thought process, not stats, data, and what I've seen. What I've seen in my face, Debo Samuel's so much better. He has to work out because here's why. Here's why he has to work out, Josh. Because he's big and athletic, and when you lose a receiver, here comes another one, like Greg was saying all show.
I'm going to take, I would imagine, the number 1 targeted receiver, and I'm using that word specifically in Baltimore. Give me Mark Andrews.
Yes. I thought about taking Mark Andrews as a flex play with Kelsey, Josh.
Yep.
That's a great pick.
Yep.
Every other tight end after that, in my opinion, is a coin flip.
Yeah.
I still don't have a wide receiver.
Which I did want to bring up to you, by the way, Deke. I was curious on your thoughts of, is this Kelsey's last big year?
I think this is his last elite, top tier, untouchable year. Just because, dude, he's like 34. I mean, sheesh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
gotta
go
figure something out though?
Do you go Calvin Ridley or do you go D Hop?
Here,
Calvin Ridley is so enticing.
So Calvin Ridley
very
has the
enticing.
ability to
but
be
D
a
Hop's
top
number
5
1.
wide receiver. Yeah, it just depends who throws him the ball. I mean, there's a lot of good names there, man. I'll never sleep on D Hop.
I'm going D Hop.
Dre's wants the money ball strategy back.
Well, dude, this is my first mock, so yeah.
He don't mock money ball. He just does it, Dre.
Yeah, he hasn't done enough research yet. Like he's saving that for TFTB draft, and then we'll get into the weeds. And we won't even know what the teams are until we actually watch him draft.
And even then, sometimes they have to change.
Dre takes Ridley. Yeah, Ridley for me has massive upside in that offense. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be a freak, but there is, we haven't seen him play in a while, so there's a lot of concern there.
Let's not forget what Doug did with that Carolina team a couple of years ago. I mean, they were moving the ball everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Man, I love living in a world where Josh trusts 12 men to make their picks in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's because here's the thing, Josh. If you count up all these squares are a minute.
Yeah, true. True.
That in itself is over an hour.
Drive me nuts.
We were moving pretty good till Behrman didn't do his thing.
I know. Until everyone found out that there was no time limit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Timmy just punted. Got Aaron Jones. He
Not
went
a bad
auto.
punt.
I'm telling you, that Green Bay offense could be sneaky good.
Dude,
this
I've been
year.
watching Jordan Love videos out of camp, and I even like him, which is saying something.
Oh, that
Yeah,
is saying something.
I'm gonna be really annoyed that the one year that you would think everyone has all these hype about the Lions, the Packers still end up winning the North somehow.
Timmy said, whoops, wanted Gibbs there. He'd be a freak. No, Jerry Judy goes.
Ooh. Kind of early for Judy, I think, but okay, interesting.
I don't know. Everyone's saying that Broncos offense figured it out already.
I hope so, man. Judy's a freak athlete, so.
Greg, what are you looking to do here now that Deke is selecting?
Well, next to my team, I'm still going to try to load up some receivers. I got some good options that I actually
I'm doing it.
like how they're.
I went against everything I said I was going to do. I'm sorry. I'm doing it.
You get Jahmyr Gibbs? Wow. Okay.
I wanted Mixon, but Gibbs is too sexy and it's a mock, so Ping would have probably flip-flopped. So
yeah.
Greg,
I'm
Also-
taking your boy Deke. Scary Terry.
Yep.
freak. I just traded a first for him in Dynasty. I'm
I love
excited.
Scary Terry.
But who's
Ty's
throwing
entire
him the
team is
ball?
a week 7 bye. Sam Howell, bust.
Scary Terry is the new Mike Evans, the most disrespected receiver in the league because he gets no quarterback play.
Yep.
Fair.
Big time. Greg, what are you going to do on the comeback?
See how the weapons are looking up. Is Damian Pierce like officially the one in Houston? Just out of curiosity, or is that
Yes,
just
they
like
picked
okay.
up
Sure.
Devin Singletary, but
Just checking.
Sure. They got the plumber playing quarterback. They got a mechanic playing left tackle. You know, who knows?
the
Fucking
Texans?
Austin.
No, they
Yeah.
got CJ Stroud now, Cuzzo.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Fuck Austin. I was trying to get DJ Moore on the wraparound actually.
I am so out on London and Moore in terms of getting them. I don't know.
But DJ Moore's the number 1 in Chicago as my number 3 receiver. I just really liked. So
Yeah, no, I don't hate the thought process. I
We'll
just am
see.
out on certain guys.
And we'll see if Justin Fields throws
Dre
the ball.
said Drake London over DJ Moore. He got both. Idiot.
Yep.
NBA says, who are your guys wide receiver, my guy, out of the first 2 rounds this year if you're going bullish on a guy?
I mean,
I feel like mine's always Keenan Allen. Oh, Christian Watson, Greg. Oh, there's some
Maybe.
names there.
He's going to be the number 1 in Green Bay as my number 3 receiver. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I would go Stephon Diggs. I feel like that Buffalo team has this really nasty chip on their shoulder where they're going to just train the entire regular season and then fall apart in the playoffs again. But luckily that doesn't count for fantasy.
I can see that.
So, you're saying my guy based on how the first 2 rounds have kind of gone? I'm not gonna go the Sun God because I think that's kind of a cop out, but I
No,
do
you've been
love Jalen
bullish.
Waddle. I do like the Sun God, but I think Jalen Waddle is honestly kind of underappreciated in that Dolphins offense. Like there were some
How?
games where he put up some ridiculous
He was
numbers.
like a
in some
top
of the
10
games.
receiver last year, Greg.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't feel like he gets enough respect compared to Tyreek Hill though. That he just kind of gets like all the side.
Oh my
he
God,
gets like all
Kobe
the
took
side
the
bumps and no one
Steelers
pays attention
defense.
to him.
It's a good pick. I don't know if I agree with he's underappreciated, Greg. He was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He was at wide receiver 11 off the board for us.
I like that Kobe is drafting like Josh. That's really
Honestly, it
yeah.
makes me think about how far you've come.
I know. It's great. I love it. I can't. It's so
I don't know
funny.
if this year, if I really have someone I'm bullish on. I mean, I'm still bullish on the Chargers wide receivers.
Oh yeah, I mean, as long as Justin Herbert's there, like there's not going to be any
Also-
problems. With
Is Kyle Pitts hurt?
No, he just sucks.
I think we've
No,
kind of
he's
given
fine.
up on the Kyle Pitts hype train over the last 2
I
years.
think he's going to go down as one of the busts of the history of the sport.
I think it's
a
just.
lot.
But in fairness, it's also because tight ends never do well their first year either. So like, I'm not surprised that he didn't light the world on fire compared to what we all expected from him. But he's still. I think he's still a freak athlete. It's just figuring out what to do with him.
Deke, you better be right about Ayuk.
I've loved Ayuk since he came out.
And he's disappointed every time.
Every time.
So you're going to sit there and tell me that you're forgiving on a guy like Kyle Pitts, but Ayuk's a disappointment.
I didn't ask that.
Kyle Pitts
That's on
has
him.
Kyle Pitts has only been 2 years though. I feel like every year Brandon Ayuk is expected to do something or eventually become that number 1 receiver, and he just hasn't done that yet. That's my
Yeah.
issue.
Okay. So
right
what you're
there.
saying, Greg, is that it's not really that easy to replace wide receivers at the pro level with college guys that were really productive.
You know what? That's fair.
Got it.
Dalvin Cook has not signed, correct?
Nope.
He is not. Nope. He will eventually, though. Keep that in mind.
I once saw this YouTube video about why Jalen Hurts is great for running backs. Give me DeAndre Swift.
He's in Philly.
Listen, Swift before he got put in the doghouse in Detroit was probably their number 1 back. It was just Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams was the vulture, basically.
Jamal.
Oh, it was Jamal. My bad. Although Jameson's actually not a bad late round pick if you have the receiver.
Kobe. Might be time for the Steelers defense. Takes it. Then immediately texts me after. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yep. Kick him out. No, I like a little chaos.
It's a lot of fun. Trevor Lawrence in the 6. Okay.
That's
I understand that.
Oh, his little green dot disappeared, so maybe he is on auto. That was fucking funny. That does fuck up so many. Like, taking Justin
Terribly.
Tucker where he took him, though. Like, absolutely.
Everybody gets a player that's just a little bit better.
Right. And also, like, Josh Allen where he took him, even. So funny. Oh, his dot's back. All right,
Okay, good.
good. Okay, good.
I wouldn't want him to miss his pick.
Yeah, I want to see. Takes backup kicker here.
That's a good
Chris
pick.
Godwin. Oh. Here we go. Going with the Penn Stater.
Damn. I honestly thought about Darren Waller here as my flex.
Interesting.
Reports have been coming out that he looks like a stud in that
Yeah,
camp,
dude.
actually.
I mean,
And
I'm a
is
big
a
fan.
stud.
honestly, for the big disappointment that Evan Ingram was in that offense, then you never know. Like, Darren Waller could absolutely take that offense to the next level.
Yeah. I mean, he did for the Raiders.
Do you think your Mike Williams pick is a layup? A soft pick?
Yes, that was so easy.
Yeah.
Like Pittman, I don't trust him or Indy. Marquise Hollywood-Brown is technically wide receiver 1, but I don't trust them without Kyler or with Kyler. Tyler Lockett, I've been there. It's boomer bust. Christian Kirk is now the wide receiver 2 or 3 on his team. Javonte Williams, injuries. Rashad White, not proven. Mike Evans, you got Baker. Deontay Johnson, and all those guys will probably rat back to me. So for me, Mike Williams, arguably being the wide receiver 1 on the highest paid quarterback in the NFL's team. Yeah. Cool.
Did you see the out of camp, all the balls getting dropped in Tampa Bay's camp? And like these are just like the most wounded duck balls you've ever seen. Like
I've ever seen in my life.
Your grandfather can throw the ball better.
Yeah, why not? I'll give it a shot.
Just so many question marks about him, and I don't even like him when he was healthy.
I know, but I'm not relying on him to start
I
right
agree.
away.
Little
I
flex
thought
pick.
about Alvin Kamara, but I don't know how long that suspension's gonna be.
Right.
So my thing is, you're talking about a 28-year-old whose efficiency has gone completely down on possible suspension, who just was joined by a day 2 pick in college who was hurt during the combine, meaning a ton, and last year's touchdown leader. Yeah, I'm out on Kamara too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking him anything other than where I have him in Dynasty, sadly.
Plus, that offense might look a lot different with Derek Carr as the quarterback. So
Yeah, dude.
I don't even know if he'll be as efficient as he usually would be.
This is an ugly round.
Mike Evans and Michael Pittman?
Just
Or
like
this
what's
whole
left
lot?
on the board.
Oh, yeah. We're into the thick of it. We're into the dart
Yeah.
throw territory with a
Yeah.
little bit of knowledge.
Is Pacheco hurt?
Nope.
Why does it say Q or questions?
Questionable. I mean, questionable's okay. It's nothing major.
Oh, okay,
Just
okay.
probably sat out in camp, but we're 6 years from the season, so nice pick, Greg.
He is still technically the number 1 until proven otherwise.
That he is, my man.
Yeah. I mean, Rutgers, you know?
Did Deontay Johnson go to Rutgers?
No, I was talking about Pacheco still.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right. I forgot he was a Rutgers guy.
See what I mean here, Josh? Marquise Brown, Christian
Yep.
Kirk.
Yep.
Yep. Easiest pick was him. So
it just it looks gross. Now 3 years ago, Josh is lining up to take Christian Kirk immediately. Like he's salivating
I
to
love
get
Christian
Kirk.
I think he's awesome.
He had a great year last year. Although I am going to be curious how the target share looks now that Calvin Ridley's there. But like still, even as a solid number 2 option, I think he'd be a great pick for that.
Normally, I would take James Cook here, but knowing that Gibbs is one of my picks, I'm going to take Montgomery so that I just have Detroit's backfield.
Love that little handcuff.
Well, you technically Gibbs is going to be the 3 down with David Montgomery also being the 3 down is what they said. So you have no idea, but you know David Montgomery is going to vulture touchdowns, so he's a nice flex play on weekends where Gibbs they can't get the passing going.
I also completely forgot that Alexander Madison is now technically the starter in Minnesota.
Dude.
And you've loved him for a long time too.
I did. I traded him away in Dynasty, so now I have to pretend to hate him in there. But I loved him out of Boise. And for me, Alexander Madison in the 5th round is crazy, especially if you look at some of the guys. I mean, Sanders starter, Dobbins starter, Akers, blah, Connor, blah, Pierce starter, Swift. Sorry, Josh. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm massively optimistic about Alexander Madison in that spot. Like, that's crazy. Timmy gets his Yinzer glasses on.
Ooh, back-to-back with the Cook brothers, actually.
Daddy Drew. Not a bad auto-drafted team. He's going heavy on those running backs right now.
Well, he's expecting Tyreek to put up all the numbers in for his receivers, I'm guessing. Which, in fairness, nothing wrong with that.
Man. Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
Can't be mad at that.
Mm-mm. This
Give me Pacheco.
It's a great pick, Josh.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
He's
thought
technically-
about
he's
going
technically a
receiver
number 1.
again, but yeah. Sorry, Greg, I talked over you there.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say the rest of this tight end group is kind of ugly.
Yep, that's why I got Kels.
I do see what you mean about like positional value, kind of like playing a role, getting that out of the way with early.
Yeah,
But in
man. I
fa-
mean, look at your roster here. Eckler and Henry are great there, but then you get into your wide receivers that are kind of meh. And so, mine's not perfect in any way because I divvied from it, but like I stuck with some guys that are running back meh. Like I love Devontae Adams, Etienne, I believe in, Gibbs, maybe, Madison, first time starter, Dave Montgomery, maybe. So there's no, there's a science to it, but it's not right or wrong.
Sleeper pick here. Alan Lazard. That's
Number 2
an
in Green
Aaron
Bay.
Rodgers
Oh, no,
fucking
he's in-
receiver if there ever was one.
You
That
are
is
going
a-
to pull your hair out to try to find the week to start him, but I like it.
Right. Unless it turns into the Marquez Valdez-Scantling situation, right? Where like every week he's getting a touchdown just
Yeah.
because that's how the ball is being distributed.
Wouldn't hate it.
And
Dre
he had
sneaks
him
in with Friar Pat.
He had him in Green Bay.
Yes.
So
Yeah, it's basically just Green Bay East at this point.
Bills
They
in
bring
Kansas
Cobb
Street.
over,
Yep.
Lazard over.
Yep.
I kind of hope they get Cook. God.
Oh man, can you imagine Dalvin Cook as a Jet? Just add another.
How would you guys
fucking weapon.
evaluate Rashad White? He's definitely more talented than Jalen Warren and Alexander Madison. That is a wide stretch of guys. Warren's fun, but Madison's a starter. Rashad White for me is a starter. So, how would you compare Jalen versus Madison if their skill set if Najee gets hurt? Sorry, I got to read that first. That's fine. Jalen for me would be a nice undrafted free agent, very quick back. He'd be a great fill-in if he was out. I just don't know if I'd love him as the one.
I think he could fill the shoes if necessary, but like other than that, I don't know if he's worth a pickup.
I think that's fair.
Okay, here's is there a kicker worth drafting other than Justin Tucker at this point?
Not this high. I mean,
No. I'm
yes
just
and
talking
no.
in general. This
Oh.
is a general topic.
I'd say no then.
You know what I mean? Like Bucker maybe at one point was, but I don't know that that's really. They score too many touchdowns at this point.
I mean, I'm a big Young Hoku fan, but that's just based on the fact that he plays in the dome
Hey,
most of the time.
somebody's got to
That is
score
lame.
points for that team.
Facts.
That Atlanta team's gonna be weird to follow this year.
Like I could see, especially if the Matt Canada offense does not get off to a hot start, Boswell getting a lot of use.
Yeah, you always want to find the kicker with a defense, or with
Well-
an offense that scores. Excuse me. And Boswell, man, he's going to be putting up a lot of extra points this year because Kenny's going to break records.
Love it. Every report that I've seen, by the way, we forgot about is that Kenny's arm looks stronger from what I've seen, and also I think Kazora was averaging his throws from last year's camp to this year's camp, and it was significantly more than what he was doing. I love that.
Huh. Nice. Who are you thinking, Greg?
Trying to see the options I got. I'm glad I'm doing these mocks now because now it's definitely making me rethink my strategy. So
Love the Brian Robinson pick. And I like Jamal
Yeah,
Williams.
you're
too.
also thinking about taking the Steelers in the second or third round. Is that what you're thinking?
Absolutely. Something like that. No, I did go Dalton Schultz though because I need a tight end and also because I can imagine him being CJ Stroud's favorite target to start.
Yeah, I like CJ or Dalton Schultz a lot. I was fighting between Tua and Anthony Richardson there, and just, you know what, give me the surefire thing. I think Anthony Richardson's going to be a freak, but you just never know.
Tua stays healthy, like he can put up some yardage this year, man.
Oh yeah, he has two of the underrated wide receivers in the league, Greg.
Absolutely.
Timmy goes with the starter in Chicago, Khalil Herbert. We don't know what's going on there. I mean, they did take a day 3 running back out of Texas, and they have Dante Foreman, who's been a thorn in my side for all the running backs I believe are going to be good. He always seems to beat them out. Dre goes the biggest bust in draft history, and Daddy Drew takes the actual former Steeler of re-signed Juju.
Tell me Adam Thielen's not the safety target for Bryce this year.
Adam Thielen is the number 1 wide receiver.
In Carolina, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I
think
feel good
of
about
DJ
that.
Chark.
I see that being what was that, a 9th round pick that ends up being a starter if things are going right in Carolina.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he'll finish the year as a top 40 wide receiver.
Sure.
But none of them will be starts that you're like, man, remember that week he won for me?
Right.
They'll all just be
Right.
like, yeah, he did that. He got a couple points here and a couple points there.
He's your wide receiver 2 on when you're starting and you're leaving your flex open and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Damn it, I was hoping for Michael Thomas on the background. Shit.
Everybody loves the Bears this year, and I think Cole Kmet will play a big
What am I
piece
doing?
in that offense if they're successful. So I'll take my backup tight end.
Just got an extension too, so good for him. Anthony Richardson getting drafted. Is Richardson of all the rookie quarterbacks the one that we're probably the most intrigued to see?
He's
Just
the
gotta,
one that
he
would
could
win
either
you your
be-
fantasy league out of all of them.
He could win your
He's
fantasy
the one
league. Is that
that,
what
like-
you just said?
Yeah. Anthony Richardson is the only rookie quarterback
the-
that can win you your fantasy league.
The raw athleticism alone, like I just don't know what to expect from this. I
Yep.
could either expect like one of the greatest like rookie performances ever, or I'm expecting just an absolute car crash to occur.
Do you
And
think
I want to see it.
Pickett can have a better season than Carr? Absolutely.
Yes. 100%.
Expected to.
Mhm.
Not saying
Yeah.
that Derek Carr couldn't have a good season.
No, and he will.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah,
going to a
that-
new team off a second-year guy in the system that's built for him. It's very different.
Right.
And that NFC South is just wide open.
Yeah,
Like
agreed.
it very easily. And I would argue I was gonna say he has the best defense, but I'm gonna take that back because Carolina's defense is actually really good. So
You think it's between the Saints and Carolina? I just watched an Eagles team last year get to the Super Bowl off a rushing quarterback and a defense, and the 49ers are still a team.
wait, what does that have to do with the South?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, defenses, you suck.
Oh,
Sure. Absolutely.
Appreciate
Why
that.
are we naming defenses in a division?
I was just trying to figure out based on team wise who's the most likely to win, and I'm thinking, okay.
Oh, we actually had that debate in a group chat today, because the guy said that the Bucks will finish last. Meech did, and I said you're an idiot.
I mean, I think we're knocking Baker a lot, but I think that team is still very, very good, and people forgot how much talent is on that team.
Oh, very much agreed. We're looking for some home runs here.
Yeah. I was looking at the quarterback category here because it's about that time, right?
Yeah.
And you got
10th, 11th round, yeah.
Kirk Thuggins, A.A. Ron. Do you, especially for those guys that went and took your Josh Allens or your, whoever early, are you looking at a Jordan Love as a feast or famine situation?
Jordan Love would be more waiver wire pickup for me than
Yes.
guy I can rely
Okay.
on
Good
to
answer.
start.
So who
if
you
I was
picking?
Ron.
Hey, Greg, I'll trade you the 11 and 12th pick for Aaron
A.A.
Rodgers.
I'll think about it.
Okay, thank you.
Wow. Zach Wilson just threw a 57-yard bomb.
Zach Wilson.
To Malik Taylor.
Fun. Yeah, I'm looking at CJ Stroud. I know that you said that Anthony Richards is the only QB that can win you your league this year,
Yep.
rookie QB. But as a backup, CJ Stroud on the week that your QB can't go, and maybe it's a strong matchup.
I would rather have Jared Goff.
Okay.
I don't hate that, and Goff might be taken as a starter. I think Stroud could be a good waiver wire ad. I think he's a very good athlete and a very good quarterback. I just don't trust rookie quarterbacks in fantasy that
What about
aren't able to move.
Russ is still out there.
I think Russ has a better year than last year. I
Sure.
don't know how much better, but I do not hate him this year, is how I'll word it.
When's Kyler due back?
7 or 8, I think, Greg.
Okay.
Week.
Yeah, I think they said half the season if I remember correctly.
Okay, well. 7 or 8 checks out then.
Can you hear me knocking?
What about Brock Purdy?
It's a great question.
You want to talk about guy who could end up making a huge difference? Because they said that Trey Lance is on a chance of getting cut, which is crazy. But then also that Sam Darnold has been getting the number 1 snaps.
Yeah, how do we quantify the San Francisco 49ers job in this sense? By trading everything possible to get a guy they're going to cut, or finding your starting quarterback in the 7th round?
Finding your starting quarterback in the 7th round, because then you can trade everything else you have left over
Right.
for Christian McCaffrey and just hand him the ball.
Fair.
And that's essentially what they've done at this point.
Love it. Greg?
Looking at some running back options for me.
Okay.
Yeah, might as well. Give me Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, could be a starter. I mean, I took Achane for
Absolutely.
the upside, so.
Also in the Mike McDaniels, right? Yeah. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I always get that because there's too many McDaniels and too many Mikes. In that offense, you know what I mean? That's the offensive genius. Who knows? Maybe Mostert becomes this kind of flex McCaffrey-esque running receiving back kind of situation.
He's also a giant dork too, and I love him for it.
Facts.
Raheem Mostert?
No, Mike McDaniel. Just a dork, and I love him. The good kind of dork, not the Pete Thamel kind of dork that I want to punch in the face.
See, this is where I'm at with Moore, Greg. I just took Moorhead's 5th pick, and I picked up his exact competition in the 11th with Darnell Mooney.
Okay.
That's where I'm at with Moore. I love Moore. I don't like him with Carolina. I don't like him with Chicago.
I mean, but okay, so the one thing I'll say for DJ Moore,
Yeah.
big target, good at catching contested balls, easy to find on the field for a quarterback that has the weight of the world on his shoulders this year. That is a safe target for him just about every time.
I mean, he's 6 foot.
But he's big. You know, he plays big. He plays physical.
Yeah, he's Steve Smith.
Sure. I don't know who Steve Smith is.
And not because he came from Carolina.
You don't know who Steve Smith is? Steve Smith Sr.?
The Steve Smith I'm thinking of is a 49er?
Who the fuck is that Steve Smith?
I don't know.
No.
Steve Smith was a Carolina Panther and then went to the Ravens. He was Cam Newton's rookie season.
Yes. Okay. I got you.
Talk about underrated, by the way.
You're just thinking of a mailman named Steve Smith.
I probably was. The mailman for the San Francisco 49ers, Steve Smith. You don't know him?
Yeah, I mean, we don't get around as much as you, Josh, apparently.
Yeah. You know, when you're around the game like I've been around the game, Greg, you have an appreciation for mailmen and the
For
McCourty
every
twins and, you know. I'm going to go get my backup QB, and it's Brock Purdy.
I don't hate it.
Yeah. Fuck it. All right. Let's see what I like that's out here.
I mean, listen, Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy. It's a hell of a quarterback room.
Zeke still hasn't signed, huh?
Nope.
He is not.
But
No.
it's a great addition.
He's going to wake up on week 6 like, I should be playing football.
I think a season should have started.
I really do want him to be a Patriot. I don't know why.
I think it's
but
likely.
I feel like that's a good spot for him.
Yeah, I think that'll happen.
That is, if they get Zeke and Mac Jones is even half decent, that is probably the most star-studded the Patriots will have been since Brady left.
Yeah, not bad. They really
It's
haven't
the Brady
had too much
Moss
else.
team, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Dre, can you set it to auto? I hate when people do. He said, "I'm on auto draft. Appreciate it, fellas. Have a good night." But he didn't set it to auto.
Nice.
So now we gotta wait a minute. Which is
Damn it,
fine.
Dre.
And we've still got 13 minutes of the show. We're good.
I didn't realize Leonard Fournette hasn't signed with the team.
Yeah.
That's
Dream Hunt either.
SOUTHFLORIDA, South Florida, South Florida.
Oh, okay.
Go Bulls!
My God.
There's a couple names where I was like, I'm pretty sure they're not on a list.
Marlon Mack is not in the league, Josh. You are aware of that, right?
Hey, the Cardinals.
He had a tryout, yeah.
He
Which,
just had
by
a
the
try with
way,
Cardinals today, Josh.
I heard recently it was reported that South Florida is getting their own on-campus stadium.
Oh, that's a big deal. I wonder where they're going to put it.
I could not tell you. I'm not familiar with the campus, but that's pretty cool.
There's a giant golf course basically in the middle of the campus, Greg, that they could probably just
Just
Ixnay
tear down
on the open stay.
Well, no, that's fair.
I don't think South Florida golf team really is going to be raking in the bucks for them anytime soon.
You don't think
Could
golf
be.
is a revenue driver for them?
I don't. Yeah, actually, I don't. I think
Throw some darts.
any golf team that exists is because there are one or two donors that fund it entirely, and they just leave it there because it looks good. Not that I'm speaking from experience.
Tell me how you really feel without telling me how you
Tell
really
me who
Hey,
you're picking,
listen,
Greg.
Jimmy fucking Dales. That's all I'll say.
Tell me who you're picking.
Give me Western Guinea natives more.
Yeah, I know him.
That's
Try
why I
it
took
again.
Do you, Josh?
Rashee Rice, the better one.
That Kansas City offense again is just going to be so.
Could be a fucking crapshoot, man.
It's a mess. That's why getting Patrick Mahomes is probably the best play because it's the only one that you're gonna guaranteed you know what to get. Well, Kelsey too.
And his deep threat target, who was hand groomed by Aaron Rodgers.
Fair point.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be so screwed when Isaiah
Mine-
Nayor finally gets in this league, man. You guys are going to be fucked. I'm going to take him 1-1 every time.
My mock draft ends at pick 13.6, so I'm very excited to see what happens here.
No, I still got 2 more. I got 14 and 15 on them.
No, I know. Mine just it has like an error.
Oh, good.
Cool.
I can refresh. Let's see.
I hope I
Okay,
am
we're
not
back.
I am not taking Jacoby Myers simply out of spite because of him just absolutely disowning Akilla Witherspoon from an NFL job.
Okay.
Fair. Michael Mayer could be a terrific waiver wire pick a couple weeks into the season. They just got rid of
Top 5 overall prospect coming into the season last year.
and they
it's
got
just
rid of OJ
right now.
Howard for the 17th time in his fucking career.
Man, that's another guy from Bama that I thought was going to be a lot bigger than he ended up being.
Tight ends, man.
You want to talk about? I just saw his name populate on my screen. Clyde Edward-Helaire.
Bus.
Oh man,
Crazy.
That hurts.
Crazy.
That hurts.
You would have thought one of the like we had him stapled as being like the guy.
Greg. Oh, dude, yeah, for sure. He was the perfect fit, right?
Yep.
He was the perfect
It was
scheme.
perfect. Perfect. It was perfect. Couldn't stay healthy. Too small.
Greg's about to get on auto draft.
No, I'm looking at.
He's gonna sit there. He's gonna
Shut up.
let it
I'm looking
auto
at
draft and just sit there on the show. That'd be great.
I mean, he about to.
Yeah. Give me the other Green Bay guy. I got both Green Bay receivers, so see how that goes.
Who to take? That's
Yeah, fuck
really
you.
fucked up.
Fuck you, Ping. You must hate Akilla Witherspoon.
Ping autoed. He's not even around.
Still.
Fuck it. Give me Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis.
Are we playing that game now?
It's only 2
Oh,
rounds
we're-
left, brother.
We're on the run. Well, technically, Josh, your boy started the run like a while ago. It
facts.
just hasn't.
That's
It just
true.
hasn't it just hasn't caught on yet.
It was just a slow burn.
I'm taking Zeke.
Oh, okay.
You never know.
No, it's just that I thought he was joining the wave. Thought he was getting on
No,
board.
because I wanted the 49ers and then Dre auto drafted it. So
Yep.
Timmy getting Kyler Murray in the 14th is an interesting pick.
Depends if he has another quarterback. He does.
If he
okay.
does, Justin Fields.
That would be very funny if he didn't.
I don't even like one of these fucking defenses. I guess hoping the Washington Commanders have a bounce back, I'll take that. I don't like any of those defenses left. It's like Eagles, 49ers, and us. Maybe the Jets too. I didn't even think about the Jets. Jets secondary.
Schedule plays a role.
True.
In this definitely.
Michael Gallup, huh?
Wow.
I don't even know he's still in the
My
league.
old ho's sick, but my young ho cool.
Oh.
Goat.
Yep.
I do like Tampa.
We're on the run.
What?
I was gonna say we're getting on the run of the defense and kickers now.
Could be.
Oh, I wish I would have thought of this earlier, but a guy that I actually want to take in a draft, I want to take Jalen Hyatt.
I saw him down there.
He's clearly the. I don't know what other wide receiver pass catcher they would lean towards it.
Larry Fitzgerald is drafted.
Sterling Shepard.
Oh man.
Yeah, Larry Fitz has not retired yet.
He's-
Which the only
he's
reason that
draftable.
upsets me is because of his Hall of Fame eligibility.
Right.
Why? I don't get that. Why has he not retired yet? Is it just simply because just emergency situation or whatever?
Just
Because
didn't
I
get,
mean,
didn't get around to it yet.
But that's amazing to me because he's doing pregame stuff, I think, for Amazon or whatever. So like I don't get the logic.
See what Kobe does with his 15th and final pick.
He doesn't draft a Wyoming guy. I'm freaking out.
Well, there's no Wyoming receivers or running back. Oh, I guess he could take X.
Yeah, he could.
He could take X.
Big back crack. Or autograph.
Kobe.
I actually don't hate Mingo.
Yeah.
Finish us off, Josh.
Hear me out.
We're hearing.
What if Chase Claypool returns to prominence? Just hear me out.
That'd be amazing to us all.
That would be a
literal jaw-dropping incident.
It would be a jaw-dropping incident.
Yes. What did he say? He's a top 3 receiver in the league currently.
On his own team, yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
Hey, gotta have self-respect.
Oof.
Good mock.
Mapletron, how far ye have fallen.
Thank you for everyone that joined in. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. Gives me a lot of stuff to think about and a lot of ideas to redo.
That's why I
now,
like mocks,
so
dude. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah, never do unlimited time, Josh. We have jack-offs.
Never will.
Well, I hope that everyone enjoyed this first episode of Thoughts from the Bench. I think it was good.
Okay, good. Great. I'm happy.
Show has been approved.
Sweet.
Show has been approved by founder. Yeah, we're good.
We're going to try to do some different shit to make it a little bit different, but it's the same show.
Yep.
Same show, just a different tagline and a different feed to follow and all that. So, yeah.
NBA Sidvo, Bueno. I don't know if he was even in there. Everybody that came in. We appreciate you guys.
All right. Love yins. Say goodnight, Derek.
Good night, Derek. We'll see you guys next week.